everybody. Happy Thursday. Walter really wanted to say hello on this live because this is the live we are most excited about. This is the live I think I need the most. We are sharing our top tips. Hold on, let me put this crazy man down. We are sharing our top tips for getting life in order when it feels very overwhelming from the most organized women I know. I reached out to some friends, and these are like real life people. These are not people that we know on the internet. These are real life good friends that I personally do life with here in Pensacola. And I reached out to them via email a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, if you had an adult daughter who was really overwhelmed and who was trying to get her life together, was trying to just somehow make all of the things she was trying to manage make sense, what advice would you give for her? Just one tip. She called you and she's like, Mom, I can't do all this. I don't know what to do. Give me some advice. What's the one tip that you would give her? And I got so many good tips. I hope we can get to them all today. If you are watching the replay, we are so glad you're here. If you're joining me live, thank you so much for being patient with us while we change today's time. Team Simplified is here in town. I am here at my office. They are at a house nearby where we are all staying for the next couple of days to do some photos and video and team building exercises. And we did what's called Strengths Finder session this morning, and it was so life-giving and so good. And we all cried happy tears and learned so much about ourselves and the way we work together and just made some big plans and big dreams for the future of Simplified. It was just a great morning, and I appreciate you guys changing the things with us. Okay, so I have this big box right next to me. I'm thrilled for this conversation, and I invite you after this is over to go and check out all the new products that we just launched over at emilylay.com. All of our planners and products are designed to help you when you're feeling this way as well, when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you have so much on your plate that you're trying to manage. All of the tools and resources over there are designed to help you accomplish the fresh start you're after. We have everything from planners to products to a video library, free printables, just tons and tons of resources, because we are not just the best planner company. We are offering you so much more. We want you to join our community. We want to be with you for the life of your planner. So please make sure you check out all of those things on our website. Okay, I want to just start by asking you guys how you're doing. And I mean that genuinely, not in a, like, don't just tell me like, I'm fine, I'm good. I want to know how you're doing. I know that we have all collectively as a world been through so much over the last couple of years. I also know that women today are under more pressure to have it all together in terms of life and work and motherhood and school and extracurriculars and all the things. We are being asked to do so much so that sometimes we call those mothers of ours or those mentors of ours. And my own mom has said to me, when I was your age, I wasn't being asked to do all that you're doing. I wasn't trying to navigate a digital landscape with my children. I wasn't trying to navigate, social media and demands at work that want me to work like I don't have a life outside of work. So many things. And so I just want to start by acknowledging your truth here in these comments that this particular season is hard, that you're overwhelmed, you're juggling a lot, that you need a vacation, that it feels like a cluttered mess, that you're so tired. Guys, this is what Simplified was born out of. 14 years ago, when I started Simplified, I felt the exact same way, and I still do sometimes. But I created this company so that we could come together as a team of women and create things so that women like you, who are women like us, who are navigating a lot, have tools and resources and communities so that we can start anew. Okay? So I just want to start by saying you don't have to live in survival mode. You are worthy of a fresh start, and you are worthy of a simplified life. And that is why we are here. So on this launch week, I just want to say thank you for being part of us, for supporting us, for being on these lives this week. It's just been so fun. Now, let's get to the good stuff. I want to hear from you, and I want you to also remember, um, I'm sorry, this just caught my eye, and I just want us to all acknowledge Amber here. Hard and sad. My husband, my rock, is about to leave on deployment for a year, so I'm really trying to figure out systems and processes that are going to work for me alone with two toddlers. I cried when I saw the Bluebonnet cover. Resiliency needs to be my word of 2022. Wow. Amber, thank you for your husband's service, for your service and sacrifice. We are here with you, and I hope today's live is an encouragement to you, not just that there are systems and tools you can put into place. And if you are a military spouse, I hope you will chime in here. Um, I want you to know also that you're not alone, that you have us, and we hope you're in our Facebook group so that we can cheer you on. Okay. All right. So let's go with the advice. I want to know your number one tip for getting organized when you feel like you're in the thick of things or things are a mess. I've told you before, mine is the laundry basket trick. I have a laundry basket full right outside my office door of who knows what I just picked up in my kitchen and living room. I haven't been home for a little while because I'm staying with the girls over at the house, and my house is a little bit of a mess. So throw everything in the laundry basket. We'll deal with it later. That is my number one tip, because me personally, sometimes I just need to see a clean slate, even if it's, the mess is stuck in a box somewhere. So that is one of my favorites. A brain dump list, write it all down. I love that so much. Do the next right thing. Getting started is the hardest part. I agree. Decluttering something for me, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, sometimes it's the physical clutter that's creating mental clutter. And I know I just need to get it all in one place and then sort from there and prioritize from there. I had someone tell me last night on last night's Instagram Live, which did not save to Instagram, by the way. Instagram has a mind of its own and does what it wants. Um, Someone told me that they would gather the mess and put it on their island and then sort and put away from there. That it was just nice to have a place to put it all and then deal with it. Our brains are kind of the same way. When there's a lot going on, it's helpful sometimes to just get it all out on paper, into a planner, like in the notes pages, or use a day you forgot to use or whatever. Get all your thoughts into it and then prioritize and sort from there. Then, when you can kind of master the mess a little bit, you're able to move forward with a clearer head. And I don't know about you, but I always make decisions better from a clear head. Clean up the kitchen and mop the floor. Let's see. Clean what you can see, leave the rest for another day. Amen, right? Put it in one place and then sort. Okay, let me see. So Stephanie just mentioned one, and I'll put hers up on the screen. This is actually a tip that I got from Kristen Winchester, who's a good friend of mine. She said, set a 20-minute timer and just start clearing the physical clutter. Focus on only that for 20 minutes, and when the timer goes off, allow yourself to stop. Agreed. You will be surprised what you can accomplish when you are racing the clock. I do this for myself. A lot of times I will have like a very small window between one meeting and the next meeting. And especially in my office during launch week, I will just take a couple minutes to get it all back where it needs to go and race the clock doing it. I also do this with my kids because they love a race. And I'll say, guys, we're setting the timer 15 minutes. We're going to clean up. And then after that timer goes off, we're done. Okay, so here is a piece of advice. And this little piece of advice comes from a good friend of mine here in Pensacola who is a professional, a mother. She says, actually, I'm sorry, this one's from Kristen. Kristen said, when you feel that sense of overwhelm creep in, stop what you're doing, take a deep breath, and drink some water. Water seems to fix a lot. And then you do the next small thing, whatever the small thing is. Clear off the counter, empty the dishwasher, respond to that one big email that is waiting on you to make a decision. Just accomplish one little thing, and it just gives you that boost of like, okay, all these things in front of me, all they require are decisions and time, and I am going to make them happen. Hey, Leah. Hi, Leah. I'm going to share your tips that you gave me on here too. Okay, so a couple more from Kristen. Set a timer. That's such a good one. Make a list of your errands in order of how you will drive them. Walter, come here. This dog's trying to open my door. Hang on. Come here, buddy. You want to be on the camera? Is that what it is? Walter just wants to be part of it. That's all. I love that tip. Kristen also says create an errand basket. and have a basket for all the things you need to get done. If you're going to go out and run errands, throw everything you have, the dry cleaning, the return to Target, whatever, throw it all in the basket and put it in your car the night before. She also says fold your kids' pajamas into sets so you can keep the tops and bottoms together. I was actually going through Tyler's pajamas yesterday and like, why do you only have tops? Where are the shorts? So I actually love that tip. Okay. Yes, Kathy said, do the thing you don't want to do first. Do the thing you hate first. Get it out of the way. Everything else feels easy after that. I will often start my day this way. And something I learned in the StrengthsFinder assessment that we did this morning is that, and I learned this about myself, that I thrive on productivity. And I, at the end of the day, if I was productive in some way, I feel good about the day. It's just my personality, it's who I am. And so a lot of times I will start with the hardest thing. And for me, sometimes the most daunting thing on my list requires writing because it's part of my job. And like any creative thing you do, the writing task for me is like I can I can put it off for a long time and be like, I need to be in the right headspace. I need to have the creative burst of energy. I need to have all these other things done before I do it. And then it's just looming and looming and the deadline's getting closer. And so I will do the first thing first. There's a book and I can't remember what it is, but they say eat the frog first. Like just eat the frog first thing in the morning. The frog is the thing that is looming that you feel like you're not prepared to do yet, but you just get it done. You eat the frog first. Okay. Next tip is from a friend of mine who is a wife and professional here in Pensacola. And she says that some of her favorites are handwritten to do lists, calendar reminders, and time blocking. And I think that that is so helpful. Time blocking is really, really helpful to me. I will have certain days of my week that are like meeting days, and then certain days of my week that are I don't put things on my calendar so that I can get done those writing tasks or that design thing or whatever I need to do that's on my list. Walter Lay, what are you doing? This dog is chewing on me. Um, I also have a tip from another friend of mine who's a professional here in town. And she says she grew up as a gymnast. And I love this because I grew up as a dancer and I did this same thing as a child, but I have not done it much as an adult. Hold on. If you have a dog, you know exactly what is happening in here. This dog is like, why are you looking at that screen? And why are you not looking at me? So now I have his toy in my hand, so he'll chew it. She says what she does is called visualization. And I love this so much. She will visualize just like she did when she was a gymnast, start to finish of maybe a big project or something really overwhelming on her list. And she will think through every single step and visualize herself doing it really well. So I did this as a dancer growing up, and I do it now when I'm doing public speaking. If I'm going to get on stage, I will close my eyes and visualize start to finish, delivering the speech really well with confidence, charming the audience, doing all the things I want to do on stage. And it helps you just give you the confidence to keep going. Sometimes that can be really helpful if we're approaching a really busy day or even a season that's very, very full. So, launch week for Simplified. It is so busy. We have so many things going on, things we're staying on top of, and communicating with our customers and all the things. And, you know, I will sometimes think about launch week in terms of like, let's think through Monday. Let's think through, excuse me, allergies. Let's think through exactly how Monday is going to unfold. What's for dinner? Who's picking up the kids? How are we executing this part of launch week? And then when I do that, there's always three. Y'all, my allergies are going nuts. When I'm able to do that, I'm able to see holes that might need to be filled or addressed. I'm able to see where things could fall apart, where I might be needed, where I could prepare in advance to make things go off without a hitch. Um, okay. This next one is from Leah, who's on here. My friend Leah, who is a mother and a professional and an athlete and so much more, she says, I sit down with my pen and my simplified planner and look at what is priority. And she says for her, it's family first always. This regular exercise is a reminder of what's important. So she'll write down the top 3 things that need to happen that day. If more things get done or more things get accomplished, that's awesome. But she will write down the 3 things that need to get done. And that way she is able to take care of everything. All right. She also says, and I resonate with this a lot. She also believes in writing down her routine and revisiting what's working and what's not. We change as humans, and our seasons change in our lives. And so our routines need to evolve as well. I can remember when we moved to Pensacola, we rented a little house on the beach while we were building. And then we moved into this house, and we were trying to take our routines from Tampa and the way our mornings would go and whatnot and apply them here. But our kids were bigger, their needs were different, their schedules were different, everything was different. So we had to adjust the way we were doing things. And I think as women, so often we get into this rut almost of being on autopilot. Someone mentioned this on a live the other day, and I just loved it. We get into this rhythm of being on autopilot because we're just trying to keep up and accomplish all the things and do them all well. And we don't stop and say, like, is there something I can afford to outsource here? Is Am I holding true to my beliefs and my values with the way that I'm spending my time? Or is something suddenly taking up way too much? Like, do I have my kids enrolled in 37 after school activities and sports? Maybe I should reevaluate. Slowly we signed up for soccer and then tennis and then Boy Scouts and then whatnot. Maybe I should reevaluate things and say, hey, maybe we need to make adjustments. I love that. And I will say the simplified prep work in the front of the simplified planner is really good for doing that exercise. We kind of walk you right through it. All right. So from my friend Lee, who is here in Pensacola, she's a business owner. She is a mom to 2 kids and an overall wonderful human. Lee says, Christmas shop all year long. I love this advice. I'm trying to get better about it. Christmas shop all year long. She says it truly takes all the stresses away during the holidays. And she told me the other day, she emailed me this tip, and then she told me in person the other day that it's kind of evolved because her daughter's birthday is in December. And so it started like out of necessity that she was, holiday shopping for her family before the holidays because she knew she was going to have a little baby at home during that. And so she shops all year long. She says, when I see something in a store that someone may like, I'll buy it, then take it home and put it in a big Tupperware box I keep hidden from my family. This is also smart financially because if you see, for instance, Sephora had or is having a sale. I don't usually shop at Sephora, but now I do because I'm trying to get into clean makeup. But paying attention to when those sales are, getting your lists ready early and shopping during those times, you save so much more money. And then if you have the space, you put it away for the holidays. Now, the other thing I love, she says, around late October, I start wrapping all the presents and tying all the bows. And that way, when we decorate for Christmas, the presents are all ready to go under the tree and I can enjoy the season and not have to, live by my to-do list. I love that. And it's something I'm trying to get better at. Okay, let's see. Someone else said, this is one that I've been sharing all week long, and this is from my friend Lacey, who's an interior designer. Hey, quit that. An interior designer here in Pensacola. She said that she creates a weekly schedule every Sunday, and she puts it in her planner, her weekly planner, and she lays it out for people in her family to see. She has 3 kids and a husband that's busy with work, and she's busy with work. But that way everyone can see, like, who's picking up who, what's for dinner, when they have a soccer game or whatnot, when her husband will be late. Everything's laid out for the week so that everyone can be on the same page. And that might be one of the biggest things, the biggest tips that I have taken away from all of this. Maybe you will too, that doing that exercise really allows everyone to understand what's going on. And it takes the questions and the guesswork out of all of it. If I had $1 for every time someone in my family asked me what's for dinner, I mean, yeah. Okay. I have 2 more tips for you. One of them I found to be really helpful, and it is this. I tend to have things mentally scheduled for doing in terms of like housework and whatnot, in terms of quarterly maintenance at the beginning of my school break. So this is a teacher friend of mine, so that I can enjoy the benefit of it while I'm home. And so she will set up things like get the oil changed or swap the air filters or whatever those things are. She will have a list of things to do quarterly so that winter break, fall break, summer break, all the breaks, they can get done. Dusty on Team Simplified actually told me once, and I try to do this, schedule all your kids' appointments for those breaks. And so like dentist appointments, December and June. knock them out. They're always at the same time. Schedule them as far in advance as you can, and it's easier to get them done. And then the last little bit of advice, this tip came to me by a couple people and has been something that I've kind of been chatting about a little bit all week, but the way that this was worded is wrapped in grace and makes me happy. She said, outsource whatever you can afford that does not require love. Outsource what you can afford that does not require love. So, depending on your circumstances and situations and what's important to you, investing your time in the things that require love is what's most important. If you have the opportunity to outsource something that does not require love from you, give it a try. Ask for help, accept help. It's so hard for us to accept help. I feel like that is something we can all relate to. But having someone come and deep clean my house, when I reached a point where Brian and I were able to afford having someone come periodically to deep clean our home, it is a gift to me. I love her with my whole heart. And it is a gift to my family to have a clean, deep cleaned space that relieves my time to spend with my people. Um, and so I encourage you, if that is if that is something you can do, to give it a try. We often don't outsource. Obviously, sometimes it can be a financial reason, but sometimes we don't outsource out of pride, that we feel like we should be able to do all of the things, that maybe we feel like our mothers did all the things, so we should be able to do all the things. But the world has changed so much. And giving myself the grace to say, you know, this is what is most important to me, my people, my family, having a tidy home, keeping a tidy home. But if I'm able to outsource X, Y, or Z, that is okay and that matters. Um, okay, let's see. I have one thing I want to read to you that I think you guys are really going to love. This was written by my friend Laura, who is part of my book club and just a dear friend and a teacher. She's actually the lay chaplain at our kids' school. And she wrote this little thing that I wanted to share with you because, number one, she's just a beautiful writer, but the way that she worded looking at household chores and things like that, I just thought was so poignant and elegant. I wanted to read it to you. Laura says, most importantly, this was her tip. Most importantly is my attitude towards all of it. My mother, a devoted homemaker and stay-at-home mom, told me that she tried to see her housekeeping chores as her gifts of love to us, her children. It kept her from falling into the trap of resenting it. Adding the spiritual element of thanking God for the family I serve gives my service to them meaning. It may not be my love language, but it can be the language of love and devotion to the life we are creating and living. So beautiful. So beautiful. I feel that in my bones and I love it so much. And I would encourage you, if you're looking for a resource in this area or you're looking for a new perspective on all that is on our plates, there are seasons where we can't take things off our plates. I know. I remember when I had a 4-year-old and newborn twins and a business that was at this fork in the road of just booming suddenly. And I just thought, how am I supposed to do this and cook dinner and keep the house clean and all the things? How am I supposed to do this all? And how am I supposed to do it all well? There was nothing I could take off my plate. There was nothing. And so sometimes a change in perspective is what's really important. And I would invite you to read the book, The Life-Giving Home by Sally Clarkson, who is a mentor to me and just an incredible woman. We're actually having her on the podcast around Mother's Day with a pep talk for moms. She and I recorded this the other day. But her books, The Life-Giving Home, The Life-Giving Table, they give life to, for lack of a better term, they give life to these things that can otherwise just be seen as another task on our to-do list. So I invite you to read those. Brittany and I were actually discussing this morning a book that she and I have both read called Liturgy of the Ordinary. And it is a phenomenal book. Liturgy of the Ordinary. There's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the cover. It is the most beautiful description, journey through all of the minutia of life and motherhood and work and what it means to be a woman and the things that we take on as caregivers, as nurturers, as all the things. Liturgy of the Ordinary. Highly recommend if you are looking for a perspective change, if nothing can be removed from your plate. I hope that this was helpful. I really was excited for today because I learned so much from my friends collecting these tips. Um, I do think this is something we are going to be sharing more over at Simplified. Tips from our community, our sisters. We would love to hear in the comments things that you do that are so helpful that you would maybe tell an adult daughter. Now, when Caroline is older, and she's 7, when she is older, Walter's chewing a tag on something. I'm just going to let him chew it for a minute. When she is older and she calls me and she says, Mom, I'm trying so hard to do all the things. And I love all of it. I love my job, if she has one, outside the home. I love my family. I love my kids, whatever it is that she has on her plate. And she says, I love all these things and I want to do them well, but there just aren't enough hours in the day and I'm spent. What do I do? What I would say to her, number one, is to get all your thoughts in one place. Write it all down. Clear your brain so you can think clearly. And number two, remember, you don't have to do it all, and you don't have to do it all perfectly. Sometimes perfect can be the enemy of good. And that is not my quote, that is someone else's. But sometimes perfect can be the enemy of good. And sometimes done is better than perfect, right? Sometimes just getting things done is better. And I would also tell her, remember, it's all about having grace with yourself. It's all about handling yourself tenderly, filling your cup so that you can pour out onto others. You can't pour water from an empty well. So I hope that that's helpful. Sometimes what we need to do is outsource things. Sometimes what we need to do is declutter our homes or our minds. And sometimes what we need to do is take on a new perspective. Completion, not perfection. I love that. I love that. Okay, Cameron, I love what you just said, and I'm going to show it on the screen. You don't have to do it all by yourself. There's no medal for that. Amen. It took me a while to learn that. It really did. It took me a long time to learn that you don't have to do it all by yourself, and you also don't have to do it all perfectly. Oh, my Carol, Dina, that's so sweet. My Caroline is graduating from high school next month, and I plan to share a lot of this advice with her. I love that. I want you guys to know that these Facebook Lives, obviously we do them during launch week to celebrate, all of these beautiful things we're putting out into the world, but they're so meaningful to me. I love when we can all come together, be it live or even virtually when you watch these on replay, to talk about these things because they're not talked about enough and they matter so much, right? The work you do, whatever it is, be it in your home, be it outside your home, be it both, whatever your calling is in this season of life, it matters. And it matters enough for you to put systems and routines in place to make it easier on you. You're worth that. You're worth that, and you're worthy of the life that you're trying to build. Okay. Well, you guys, I hate to disappoint you, but we are going to cancel tonight's Instagram Live. We hesitated on doing that, but we decided it would be important for Team Simplified to just have some time together to brainstorm where we're going next. We've talked a lot about this new era of Simplified, this new season we're in, and it's so exciting and so rare that we're all in the same room together that we are just going to take some time to put some ideas to paper. Who knows what will come of it, but I felt like it was important for us to carve that out while we all got to be together. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget to go and shop all the brand new beautiful things at emilylay.com. You can enter to win the launch week celebration kit with the gorgeous Yeti cooler that we're going to give away tomorrow. Before tomorrow's live, tomorrow is Simplified Spirit Day, and that time will not change, and you do not want to miss it. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to give away so many fun things. This week has been incredible, and I love this new time of doing this at lunchtime. Words are hard. All right. We have a couple questions I want to address before we go. Timeline for new product launches and fall launch. Stay tuned. We will keep you posted. Which book to read for a busy, burnt out mom from your collection? Grace Not Perfection. I wrote Grace Not Perfection when my twins were babies. It was the year they were born. So I had a 4-year-old and baby twins, and Simplified was on the crux of just becoming more than I ever thought it could be, and we were really, really busy. Um, so yeah, grace not perfection. It holds a special place in my heart too. Non-planner gift for high school graduate from this launch. I would say definitely a clip folio. I think they're just such a fun. I have one right here. I don't know if this is in stock, but this is the one I use all the time. I love our clip folios. They are, well, my to-do list is inside, so I won't share that on the internet, but it's a great. The clip folio is just a really great tool. It's really cute. You could pair it with a pouch or a journal, also really special. The Grace Not Perfection necklace is really beautiful and just really high quality and wonderful. Yeah, Walter's trying to get out of the room. All right, you guys, would love to have you on the live tomorrow. We are going to be doing Simplified Spirit Day. Wear your Simplified t-shirts. Come and join us. It'll be live here on Facebook. And oh, giveaway winner. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. Our giveaway winner is Lauren Blumel. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Lauren Blue. It's Bluml. Lauren, you are a winner. You can email taylor@emilylay.com by the end of the day today with your choice of Simplified Planner or Dapper Desk, and she will get it out to you ASAP. And then we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Bye, you guys.